Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel. We have spent the last 5 weeks in New Jersey for the holidays, but now we are back on the road and we are in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get to some warmer weather, but it was nice to be home in New Jersey, catch up with some old friends, and take some time to reflect on our first 4 months on the road. We learned a lot in those 4 months, and we have set some intentions of how we want to move forward in the year ahead as we continue to travel across the United States. We definitely have some questions for y'all and some advice that we're hoping that you can give us in the comments later on in this video, so definitely stick around for that. If this is your first time here, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Rachel.
And we live and travel in the back of our self-converted camper van. Like and subscribe to follow along as we figure out what it means to
go slow down.
So as we continue this journey, we are headed west, and our plan is to try to see as much of the United States as we can. We're both pretty familiar with the East Coast, but we haven't done as much out west, and we're going to do a little bit of Canada and a little bit of Mexico. But the first lesson we realized in our reflection is that in the first 4 months, we always felt like we were rushing to get to the next place.
Yeah.
Some of that was caused because I had deadlines. I have to travel back for work, or we had made plans kind of far in advance. And so one of the things we're going to try to do this time is actually go slow down and try to build in some buffer days into our schedule and not plan so far out.
Yeah.
So that if we get to a place that we love, we can stay there for longer, or if we hate it, we can keep going, and just give us some more flexibility along the way.
So speaking on not planning ahead, we've also noticed that if we do too much planning too far in advance and go and explore other people's videos on the topic, that it kind of takes away from the authenticity of our experience. And so we're trying to balance discovery versus planning and preparation.
Yeah, this one's really hard for me because I am definitely the planner out of the two of us. She's the day of, she's man, we go this place, and I'm I have a whole list. And so I think, again, this is one that is going to be challenging for me, but I've also saw the benefits of it because some of our favorite spots have been just random, the Savannah Museum of Art. We didn't really know much about it. We just showed up, and it was it's still one of my favorite places. And so I'm excited to be able to explore in this way. It's going to take just some changes, finding the right balance, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to know, and you have to do some research of the place you're going, but because if not, you end up there twiddling your thumbs. You don't know what to do. But yeah. I don't want to overdo it. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, you kind of get stuck in this decision paralysis almost, and it's just we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. So we got to plan a little bit in advance, and of course making sure that any places that we stealth camp or stay is safe, because that's also another reason why we need to do our due diligence in our research. But again, I really just like to be spontaneous sometimes, and that's where we find our best adventures.
Yeah. So no more reading every single review and watching every video and every TikTok of a place before we get there. The next lesson we learned, unfortunately, we had to learn the hard way. If you watched our video from back in Louisiana, we had a pretty scary situation where we really learned to trust our instincts. If you haven't watched that, I will link it up here for you to check out. And this really is a lesson of just about continuing to trust those instincts. So yeah, that was a crazy situation, but we live in a crazy world. And so yeah, that was a hard lesson.
Yeah, we're not going to really change our intention for this lesson, but we are going to just continue to stay hyper vigilant, and just be aware of our surroundings. We have some safety in the van, so hopefully we won't have to encounter any more creeps in the bathroom, or just it helps us feel safe. There's just a level of protection that we have for ourselves, and then we need to start practicing safety drills too.
Yeah. I'm a former school operations leader, and so I was in charge of fire drills and lockdown drills. So we're about to bring those to the van. We're gonna have creeper drills and break-in drills. I don't know, nothing too crazy. Again, I feel like each of these lessons we keep coming back to this idea of balance.
Yeah.
And finding that balance of being vigilant but still enjoying, and not being so not end up being paranoid.
Yeah, living a life of fear is not the way we want to live. So balance is key.
Balance is key. Before we share our last lesson, we're about to move the van to our sleeping spot, cook ourselves some dinner, and then we'll be back with that lesson and an ask for you. So one of our other intentions in the new year is to reduce the amount of meat that we are eating. Like many of you, we watched that Netflix documentary that got us scared of eating meat. We're not ready to go vegan or vegetarian yet, but we are going to try to make some switches in our diet. So I put on some pasta to boil, and we are going to switch out our regular chicken for some of these Morningstar chicken patties. Now, I used to eat these a long time ago, and I actually really like them. And I would usually put them in the microwave, but the microwave takes a lot of power, so we don't usually use it unless we're plugged in. So I'm going to pop these in the oven, and we're going to make like a Southwest chicken pasta situation. Oh, that's the pasta. It's ready. So now we can go ahead and drain that and start to make the sauce.
So here's the taste test. I'm really interested in trying the Morningstar. Is it chicken patty?
Yeah, but you could make this with regular chicken if you're not trying to cut out meat. We're just trying to cut out our meat a little bit, so it was an option.
The pasta is really, really good, as always.
We'll eventually cut out dairy. Or not. But some of the stuff we already had that we needed to use, and I also am not trying to waste anything. So when we watched that documentary, I think some people went like, went vegan, and I was like, we are not wasting all the food we already have in the freezer. So we're just little by little. Everything is about balance.
Yeah.
So you're going to tell them about our last lesson learned?
It's not even a lesson. It's more just like continuous steps towards improvement. And that's in regards to our relationship. I know van lifers out there know if you are van lifing with a partner in such close quarters, we're together 24/7.
And if you're not a van lifer, just imagine being in this tiny space.
Yeah. So, you know, it can kind of put a strain on your relationship, and we have been just trying to find new ways to, you know, improve our communication. I think that's probably the key. And just being able to like express ourselves without judgment, I suppose. So those are just a couple of things that we're working on. And again, everything is about balance.
Yeah, and so we want to, in this new year, bring you guys more content about that too. Like being in a relationship in a van and figuring that out is challenging, and being in a relationship in general is challenging. And so I think there's some opportunity for content there. But we mostly want to hear from you. As we provided these updates, there's a lot of stuff in there. We would love to hear from you on some of your favorite spots across the country that we must go to. We would love to hear from you of your safety tips and things that you do in your van or when you're traveling to make sure that you are having those instincts. We would love to hear from you on ways that you plan your travel, or any to like make sure that it feels, especially if you're like me and you like to plan everything out. What are some tips you've used to feel less anxious about not planning?
Yeah.
So yeah, drop that in the comments. We would love to learn from everybody out there, if you're a van lifer or not, because I think there's a lot of people with a lot of experience that can relate to hopefully some of the lessons we've been learning and some of the intentions we're setting as we step back out onto the road.
So today we actually hit our 600th subscriber. And I want to say thank you so much for to everyone who has subscribed to our channel and has been following along in this journey of ours. We really do appreciate your support. And to anyone who is new to our channel, we are going to be out there for a year, and it's going to be an awesome adventure. So follow along, and again, don't forget to comment about some of your favorite places to go around the US.